Hey there, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Todd Watley. I am a certified elder law attorney, and I am doing a series on Medicaid. So just doing quick videos on different topics to help you get up to speed and know if you need long-term care, there is some help out there. And there's some pretty creative things we can do to help you not be broke to get the care that you need. So today I want to talk about the single person applying for Medicaid. All right. So come back in just a second and we'll talk about single people getting on Medicaid. So how do we plan for a single person getting on Medicaid? All right. If you've seen the other videos, we do talk about the qualifications being under $2,000, what you can have, what you can't. If you haven't seen those videos, I would recommend that you go back and see those because they do explain some of this. But planning for a single person is pretty straightforward. Okay, for a single person, they've got to be under typically about $2,000, and that is somewhat state specific, so check with your state. But let's just say $2,000. They've got to be under $2,000 before they can qualify for the Medicaid service. So how do you get under $2,000? Well, one way is you can spend your money on the non-countable assets, meaning your home, household furnishings, a vehicle, and prepaid burial. Now, spending money on those things, other than, say, the prepaid burial, is kind of a waste because as a single person, if you're in a nursing home, you don't need your house, you don't need your household furnishings, and you probably don't need a vehicle. Medicaid will let you qualify owning your home, but they put a lien on it at the time of your death so they can get their money back. And there's a whole video on that topic, okay? So typically for my single clients, we do not recommend that they spend large amounts of money on those items that Medicaid will put a lien on later because you're basically still giving your money to the government. So about the only option other than prepaying for your funeral, which is a good purchase, is to simply give away your money. Now, wait a second, Todd. I don't know much about Medicaid, but I do know there's this look back. Yes, it is a 5-year look back. And what that is the state looks to see what you have given away. And if you have made gifts technically for the purpose of qualifying for Medicaid, then they will penalize you for that transfer. Okay, now, what does that mean? The penalty is the length of time that your gift would have paid for the nursing home had you not given it away. All right, so let's use a very basic example. In Arkansas, where I practice, let's say the average cost of nursing homes are $5,000 a month. Okay, if you give away $50,000 during the previous 5 years of you applying for Medicaid, that $50,000 would have paid for 10 months worth of nursing home care had you not given it away. So therefore, Medicaid says, fine, you can give it away, that's fine, but we're not going to pay for the next 10 months after you're in the nursing home and otherwise qualified for Medicaid. Okay, so that's a problem because you're broke and you're in a nursing home that costs money, and now there's this 10-month penalty because you gave away $50,000 previously. Now, I can't get into all of the specifics. I need a whiteboard, and I may do that later, but just please take my word for it that a good attorney who understands Medicaid can work with you with a gift in your past and at least cut it in half, and maybe if your income's high enough, you can cut it even worse than or more than that. So with a knowledgeable attorney, you can take a $50,000 gift and make it so that you only have to, the family or whoever got the gift only has to pay back half, and maybe even less than half if you truly know what you're doing. So that's planning for a single person. It's pretty straightforward. You tell Medicaid everything that you've done. You tell them that there was the gift, but you cut the gift down as low as possible so that it's not as expensive as giving all of the money back. Let's talk about the IRS real quick. So some people have said, wait now, I think you can give away 10 or $12,000 or $15,000, and that's okay. Well, that's okay with the IRS, but not Medicaid. The IRS in 2020 says that you can give away $15,000 without filling out any paperwork or anything to any person. So any one person per year, you can give $15,000, but that's an IRS rule, not a Medicaid rule. All right. So please understand, with Medicaid, any gift can be penalized. Now, I think I'll do a whole video on gifting, but just to address this real quick, typically gifts that were not for the purpose of qualifying for Medicaid should not be penalized. So typically, reasonable birthday gifts, Christmas gifts, and church donations. If you've given 10% of your income to the church for 50 years, and that will not be deemed a gift because you were not doing it for the purpose of qualifying. And if you give away reasonable birthday presents or Christmas presents, Medicaid, typically they don't have to exclude that, but so far they have always excluded that for us. Okay, so just understand there is some planning that can be done for the single person who is applying for Medicaid, but you really need the advice of a good elder law attorney, ideally a certified elder law attorney who really knows what they're doing and can work these processes to your benefit. All right, I hope you learned something. Come back. As always, subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you get all the updates and you can see all of the videos. All right, thanks again. Talk to you later. Bye. Graphic, music.